Well, hello, I'm Courtney. Welcome to my YouTube channel where we discuss educational research one study at a time so that you can incorporate it into your practice. Today is going to be a very brief and, well, I can't say if it's brief because I ramble all the time, but today is going to be a very basic video about some of the language surrounding language, some of the language surrounding literacy instruction, because I have read about literacy and I'm actually working on the next video that will come out, which is about orthographic mapping. And the literacy world has a lot of big fancy words that I just don't have a background in. So for a lot of you who are literacy gurus and are watching these literacy videos to learn a bit more and go a bit deeper, this is probably a video where you're thinking, how does she not know this stuff already? Isn't she a teacher? But it was never taught to me in Teachers College. Teachers College was still very whole language based, and balanced literacy was the big thing in Teachers College. So I started this YouTube channel so that I can learn more and go deeper, but I need to back up first and make sure that I know the basic vocabulary so that when I do the next video, which goes a bit deeper, I actually know what I'm reading about. So if you already know this stuff, you can stick around and humor me. If you don't know this stuff, don't worry, we'll learn it together. Yes, obviously you can go and just Google the definitions, but then we wouldn't get to hang out together and that's not fun. So if you're feeling like there's a lot of vocab to pick up while you're trying to learn literacy instruction, I feel the same way. Remember, my research background is not in curriculum. That's why I'm working on this channel, so that I can get a robust canon of information that way. But I don't have this background knowledge, so don't feel bad if you don't either. And if you do know all of this stuff and I make any errors, would you please correct me politely, gently, nicely in the comments so that we can make sure that we are all on the same page and using the same language and getting the right information out. So this is all based on what I have recently been learning about, and I'm hoping that I am saying this correctly for everybody. The first term that I'm stumbling upon all the time is phoneme, as in phonemic awareness. And from what I gather and what I've read, phonemes are the smallest unit of sound. So we're talking about, like, if we're talking about how many phonemes are in a word, it's how many sounds, the smallest units. So in the word wish, there's w, I, sh. So those are the sounds. So it has not really anything to do with the letters. It's just the sounds that you can make that make up the English language. Obviously, in different languages, there are different sounds, different phonemes that go into their whole language system. And we have in English our own set of phonemes. And I don't have the number with me. I know there is a specific number, but it's, all of the letter sounds plus any letters that make two sounds, and then all of the like ch and sh sounds as well. The next word that I'm stumbling upon a lot is grapheme. So a grapheme is the letter or a combination of letters that work together to make the phoneme. So they're the written version of the sounds. So the sounds translated into written text. So for example, the f phoneme can be represented with an F or a PH. So there's two graphemes for f. And from what I've read, there are up to 4 letters that can work together to make a grapheme. So if you think of the word 8, like the number 8, E-I-G-H for A, E-I-G-H, yeah, 4. And apparently that is as big as it gets. The next definition that comes up a lot is morpheme. So a morpheme is the smallest unit of language that can stand alone and have meaning and can't be broken down any further. So for example, in the word running, there's 2 morphemes. Run, which means something. It means, running, moving. And then ing, I-N-G, at the end shows that it's an action word. So we know ing has a consistent meaning at the end of every word, so it carries a meaning with it and it can't be broken down further. Morphemes are basically all the words that exist plus the prefixes, affixes, and suffixes that help to add to the meaning of the word. This comes up in kindergarten a lot. Digraphs and trigraphs. A digraph, di means 2, so we know that as a morpheme, that it means 2. So a digraph is a 2-letter grapheme, so SH to make the sh sound. And then a trigraph is a 3-letter grapheme. So for example, IGH in the word night. All right, and then finally we have orthography. So orthography is referring to the system of spelling that we have for a given language. So English comes from many historical roots, and there's a lot of different influences that make up the English language. And so we have an orthography that represents all of that. We have consistent rules across our spelling, but those rules come from many places. So it helps to know the historical background of a word if you're trying to spell it a certain way. So for example, the word 8 in English, the number 8 would be E-I-G-H-T, so that E-I-G-H is a unique way to spell the A sound in the English language. You could also do 8 like I ate food, A-T-E, and in that orthography we have the magic E on the end. So there's different rules for different contexts in our language, and the rules that we use to spell by is what orthography basically consists of. All right, well that is all I have for you today. If there are other definitions related to literacy instruction that you would like to know, please put them in the comments below and I can either do a part 2 of this video or I can answer them right there for you. Hopefully this was helpful for you. It's helpful for me because the next video I'm going to do uses a lot of this information, and so I feel like I needed to back up, get my basic understandings down before I go ahead and read the next article. So I'm gonna go get reading and I will be back with another video about orthographic mapping next. And so stay tuned for that. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe so that YouTube learns that people are interested in educational research and more teachers can get more sound information to use in their classes. Have a great day. Bye.